Before we begin, I want to ask you something. If you enjoy suspenseful stories that slowly pull you in and leave you thinking long after they end, please like this video, share it with someone who loves mystery, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you watch the video till the very end, because every detail matters. What seems small at first may change everything later. Now, let the story begin. My son and his wife locked me and my husband in the basement of our own house. The words still feel unreal even now. It started as a normal visit. My son, Daniel, and his wife, Laura, had come over for dinner. We hadn't seen them in months, and I was happy to have the house filled with voices again. Laura smiled politely, but something about her eyes felt distant. Daniel barely looked at me, as if he were carrying a weight he didn't want to share. After dinner, Daniel suggested we go down to the basement. He said he wanted to show us something he had been working on. I remember laughing, telling him the basement was full of old boxes and forgotten junk. But he insisted. The moment we stepped down the stairs, the door slammed shut behind us. At first, I thought it was a joke. I laughed nervously and called out his name, but then I heard the lock click. My heart began to race. I shouted, pounded on the door, demanded they open it. Daniel's voice came through the wood, shaky and uncertain. Laura stood behind him, silent. "We just need some time," Daniel said. "Please don't panic." Panic was the only thing I could feel. The basement was cold and dim, lit by a single bulb that flickered like it might give up at any moment. I turned to my husband, Michael, expecting him to be as frightened as I was. Instead, he looked calm, too calm. As I started to cry, Michael gently grabbed my hand and whispered, "Quiet, they don't know what's behind this wall." I whispered back, but he didn't answer. He only glanced toward the far wall of the basement, where the bricks looked older than the rest, uneven, poorly aligned, like they had been placed there in a hurry. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time felt distorted. Daniel never came back. No voices, no footsteps, just silence. Eventually, the door unlocked. Light poured in, and Daniel called out that they were leaving. His voice sounded relieved, almost grateful. When they were gone, Michael stood up slowly and walked toward the wall. I watched, confused and terrified, as he pressed on one of the bricks. It shifted, then another, and another. Behind the wall was a narrow hidden space. Inside it was a small metal box, covered in dust and rust. Michael opened it. Inside were old photographs, yellowed letters, and a leather notebook. My hands shook as I picked up the photos. They showed a younger Michael, standing next to a woman I had never seen before. And a child, a little boy. My breath caught in my throat. "I told you there were things you didn't know," Michael said quietly. That night, he told me the truth. Before he met me, Michael had another life, another family, a woman who had threatened to expose him when he tried to leave. She disappeared shortly after. The child was taken away, adopted, erased from his past. The basement wasn't just a basement, it was a grave of secrets. I wanted to scream, to run, to call the police, but fear has a strange way of freezing you in place. And love makes it worse. Days later, Daniel returned alone. He stood in the living room, eyes red, hands trembling. He told us Laura had found the box while cleaning. She had confronted him with the truth Michael had confessed to her years ago. The truth Daniel never told me. She couldn't live with it, Daniel said softly. She left. That night, I lay awake next to a man I realized I had never truly known. Every breath he took sounded heavier, darker. Weeks passed, then months. One evening, Daniel called me. His voice was barely audible. "Mom," he said, "I think I understand now." That was the last time I heard from him. When the police came, they said Daniel had vanished. No signs of struggle, no note, no clues. I stood in the basement again, staring at that wall, and I finally understood what my husband had meant. Some secrets don't just stay hidden, they protect themselves. As this story ends, remember this: the most dangerous walls are not made of brick or stone. They are built with silence, fear, and the things we choose not to ask. Quote, "Secrets buried for years don't disappear. They wait for the right moment to surface." If this story kept you watching till the end, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps stories like this alive.